Hi, and welcome to Girl Talk. We are here today with our dear Anna Ruby, J. Banks Design.
Anna Ruby.
And guess who's here, Aunt Lori?
The Queen.
Joni Vanderslice is here.
We always refer to as the Queen.
That's what my daughters call me. So
I'm sure they do.
The master editor.
I'm sure they do. And Goodridge-Cribb is here from Monthly Media Group. And I tell you what, we don't really need, we've kind of had a whole taping
segment.
before.
I know.
Yeah, we really have. Talking about things to come, what's going on, it's always a treat to have you here. You've got some exciting things to share with us.
I do. We're heading to Tanzania, Africa on Tuesday.
Wow.
To continue our work in building an orphanage there for the 350 kids we hope to accommodate in the near future.
Where are you in the process? What does it really look like when you go there, and what can we expect?
And also, I'd like to know, like, what changes since the last time that the Archbishop was here, and what has, I think we were buying pigs and cows. And, I mean, that's what I remember so much about, that I wanted to buy a pig for these kids. But
yeah, exactly.
Remember that?
Question.
I know. No, but I wanted to hear, like, what's developed.
What has happened since he was here, which was about 8 months ago, is that we have developed a website,
cool.
www.thevalentineproject.net, and that's important. There's a great video of the Archbishop that was done when he was here. It's a 7-minute video on there that someone can click on and see exactly his description of the project and why it's needed, which that was a project within itself to get the website going. We've developed plans. We've certainly been raising money just on more of a grassroots kind of motive right now. And we'll be meeting with the architect and with the people who will be involved with building and nailing down the final plans.
Wow.
And the final cost.
Just in 8 months?
While we're there.
Wow.
How'd you get involved in this? Why?
Rick started this. It's all his fault.
Okay.
Yep. It's a good fault.
It's a doc thing.
Yeah.
We were simply sitting in church one day, and our church had been and talked about their trip, and it became clear to me, as you know in your heart during church, that he wanted to go and needed to go. We drove out of the parking lot, looked at me and said, "I'd really love to go to Africa sometime." And I said, "Thought so." Go on the next trip. And he went on an incredible journey into a very remote area doing medical work.
Okay.
And it was quite an adventure. He befriended the Archbishop, which was then the Bishop of Dar es Salaam, and as he went back yet the next year, quickly signed up, we started talking about a longer term. What could we do that's not just a 1 week, 2 week
Involving
mission?
you and all that you can do here.
And we had the Archbishop come into Hilton Head twice during that time.
An amazing man.
Stay with us and started to say, what are your long-term goals? So I went over 2 years ago with him to look long-term, and the orphanage kept bubbling to the top because of the need, because of the available land that the diocese had.
Gotcha.
All the pieces were there.
Right.
So that is the project we
Touched
took
your
on.
heart.
So
Touched
Rick
your
is
heart.
involved, you're involved, your church is involved, Jay Banks is involved also.
Susan Ketchum's a huge part of
Okay.
it. She went over with us, and she's very involved. This is not actually, our church is involved, and it's a St. Luke's driven initiative, but we are our own 501c3, our own entity, and we encourage all churches, all faiths, anyone who wants to get involved to be involved.
And I think Lori just asked, and I'd love to hear it too, is where are you in the process right now?
Well, we need money.
Okay.
It's that simple. And we need to go on this trip and define the spaces better. I mean, I think we will leave here ready to break ground if we don't actually put a stake in it.
Culturally, when you go down there and you're building the orphanage, are there things that you might need down there that we wouldn't think of here, and vice versa, in order to make in order to accommodate the kids at the orphanage?
Oh, I couldn't even imagine how different the landscape would be just to see what the needs are.
The problems are totally different. Their buildings are very simple. To build a school for 350 kids costs $70,000. That's what I want people to hear, is that this is not an outrageous
prohibitive.
I didn't mean to bring up the pigs and the cows, but that was one way to raise money, wasn't
they will
it?
Actually, we want them to be as self-sustaining as possible, including electricity. We're working on solar because blackouts there are just, they happen all the time.
Okay, so alternative energy forms, that's pretty cool.
That is
okay.
We are working on that. They will have their own pigs and cows and their own garden.
Okay.
One of my friends, Kevin Patrick's been reaching out to grassroots soccer. He ran New York Marathon with them to build the soccer field and to support them from a soccer program, which I think is huge.
Great.
Will the orphanage be from birth through?
It will. We've decided that infant care is very important. We'll be visiting an infant orphanage when we're there. And I'm very excited because another friend, Carrie Hirsch, who lives on the island, her son is going with us on this trip to film. He's a cameraman for major films, just finished one with Madonna recently.
Wow.
De Niro, I mean, major names.
That's major.
He filmed the Archbishop in May, and he'll be going with us to actually film the orphans and the scenarios and the schools and get a picture on film of what it is.
Yeah.
It is.
What about hospitals? Is there a hospital there, or is that
There
something?
is a medical clinic that the diocese runs at the lower school.
Okay.
We're hoping to also have a medical component to this eventually. We went to Rick's medical school 20th reunion in Georgetown, and one of his colleagues has an office in Dar es Salaam for an organization that Johns Hopkins runs. So Rick has a meeting there to try to get some connective tissue and hopefully connect the medical part as well.
Isn't that
so
exciting that there's so many different
pretty
people
neat. It really
that
is
are
when you
coming
think
together? It's
about
almost
it.
like it's God.
It is,
ordained.
that's right.
Now, when you do something like this, do you actually have a group who will manage, run, and oversee it in your absence?
Absolutely. The diocese will take care of that. Again, another number, the 12 people to run the orphanage for a year, the total salary cost is $29,000.
Wow.
So again,
these numbers.
Well, what I hear you saying, and part of the reason you're here is friend and fundraising.
Yes.
And that's what I was going to say. If we want to get
lack of a
involved,
better
you can
word.
get involved in different levels. You can get involved by just donating money. You can get involved by maybe
by going and helping when it's time to move the children in and build the desk and build the bunk beds and that kind of thing.
So exciting.
So there
I
are
think
lots
it's
of
amazing.
opportunities.
Yeah.
It's always a treat to have you, Joni.
And we'll be blogging.
And they will be blogging. We will make sure we get that.
Wait,
up
what
so
was
you
the
can blog.
website one more time?
www.thevalentineproject.net.
Okay.
Stay with us. We'll be right back here on Girl Talk.
Sponsored by and filmed on location at J. Banks Design, the fresh and innovative retail destination. And by The Greenery, an employee-owned company with a growing tradition since 1973. And by Powerhouse Gym Family Fitness, motivation, confidence, and strength for a healthier, more successful you. And by Custom Audio Video, your technology specialist enhancing your home or business with the latest in audio and video electronics.